Hello, welcome to PODnas. This is a sports show with a Cajun flair. I'm Daniel Hawks. That's Jared Roser. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Olympics hoops finals that are coming up this weekend. And also, we've got another blender episode. We're going to put y'all in the blender. We've got 6 topics for y'all. We don't know which ones we're going to hit. So let's get into it. Jared, how you doing today?
Good, man. Weekend to LSU camp, getting some sun, a lot of sun, a little bit of information, and I'm better as we record this on Friday, thanks to one Wardell Stephen Curry than I would have been otherwise.
Ooh, so let's get into it. Yesterday, the U.S. pulls out a win against Serbia, and they were down most of the game. They led with 1 minute into the game, and we're down by 17 at one point. They were down 15 going into the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid goes on this incredible stint in the fourth quarter where he scores 7 straight points to get us down 2. Then LeBron has this incredible reverse layup where he started on one side and came through on the other. And then U.S. kind of took control with about 3 minutes left, and they took away the victory. So they're going to be in the finals versus France. Right now, the French women's team, as we are recording, may also be playing the United States. So we could have a dual France-U.S. men and women's gold medal game, which should be fun. But Jared, I know you weren't able to watch all this game. I did watch it. I yelled at my TV a lot. And also, like, I'm not even a Boston fan, but I was just like, why isn't Tatum playing again? So I know you got to watch some highlights. Do you have any thoughts on it? What's going through your head going into this gold medal game against France?
Yeah, I like, particularly if the French women hold on here in overtime against Belgium, if the U.S. has a chance to potentially upset in terms of emotions wise, I think you would expect the U.S. to be kind of the favorite team going in, but to play spoiler to the French as hosts in both would be chef's kiss.
Oui.
I love that potential, and now France hits another 3, and so I do like where the women are, and we'll figure it out as this episode goes along. But on the men's side, the matchup that we know is set. To see them overcome that semifinal deficit to Serbia, I thought that was great at that point. To have to go through that, to have Steph come up with his kind of legacy moment. He'd been someone, I was listening to podcasts earlier in the week where they were talking about a lot of the best lineups and this 3-man group and that 3-man group, and Steph was not someone that was having the Olympic run as some of his teammates. And so for him to come up with an Olympic career high 36, he has 9 3-pointers. It looked like some vintage Steph at a really nice time.
He was cooking. He had 6 threes in the first half. He even LeBron said after the game when they interviewed him, like, we all knew this game was coming. Like, it was just a matter of time before this Steph game was coming. And it was Serbia did a really good job of Ant, even Derek White, Drew Holiday. Those players looked very uncomfortable all game. And it was one of the reasons why you saw a Steve Kerr go with a very, dramatically short rotation from what we have seen. Really, besides KD, it was 6, 7 people, like 6 with KD, but like he kind of rode with the starters the whole game. Bam was in there as well. Bam played a good bit, and obviously then beat Anthony Davis. So about 8 players, but I personally, I thought that maybe you can switch it up because at the end of the day, like, these are all the best like athletes, and I get some of the matchups, but to me, and with the way that Bogdanovic was playing and how he's just a little bit longer, and Carmelo Anthony had to have said something to Bogdanovic before the game, because every time Bogdanovic did anything, he looked directly at Carmelo Anthony, and every time he hit a 3, he did Melo's 3 to the head. Carmelo must have said he was trash before, which, like, Melo, you're not even playing. Like, why are you doing that?
He Bogdanovic, and particularly Bogdanovic, but a couple of Serbian players, and Joker was Joker, but a couple of those guys, as I watched kind of the quick cut in a couple of different places of the game, they were making some tough shots throughout the game, and so credit to them. I would assume that the US team doesn't feel like they played their best from start to finish,
And they
particularly
did
early in
not.
that game.
I would, yeah, I don't think any player on that team would say that, or
But
coach.
also credit to the Serbian group and the way that they played to build that margin. But then I think at this time of the tournament, to be able to come together the way that the US team did and overcome that against a good team, have Steph come out and have a game where it looks like we mentioned vintage. He's hitting threes from the corner and turning before he sees it goes in to look at the bench. And so just kind of the energy and enthusiasm that were all flowing at that point, to see Joel Embiid, who has been criticized throughout this tournament, including us early on, just him not looking great early on, and feeling like he was not the fit there that AD and Bam were for a lot of this tournament. For him to have the second half that he had and make some shots, put the ball on the floor and be able to get to the basket and have just key moments against Joker. And then ultimately when they do put it together and go back ahead, you saw everybody kind of having their killer instinct moments on a huge international stage. And so to get some of that, the early shortcomings out of the way, see yourself overcome it, and have some of those pieces fall into place going into a final game where they'll be playing the host nation, I thought was really exciting to see the way that they
And
closed it out and now head
both
in.
both semifinal games they were
Yeah.
magnificent. Like even the France Germany game, France was down in the fourth quarter and had to come back as well. I'm sort of interested, looking forward to this USA France matchup on Saturday. Um, I want to see how, because France I think has the biggest collection of NBA talent, maybe outside. I think Germany had a good bit as well, but they have both the Wagner twins, which I don't even want to talk about Mo Wagner and his lips. Or Rudy Gobert, like whatever. Like both those two are like probably two of my least favorite just guys in the NBA that I just don't really have a reason. I have a reason for Rudy Gobert. Wagner just upsets me for some reason.
I don't care for Rudy, and it seems like he's just seen his role for this French team diminish as the tournament has gone on, and so that'll be interesting too now to see this matchup with the bigs that the U.S. has, and how much Rudy is involved versus going to primarily like a Wemby as the lone big lineup for the bulk of the game. I have no beef with the Wagner boys, and I specifically love to hear Shaq Wagner boys, Wagner boys. So looking forward to another year of that on Inside the NBA, which I'm sure we'll talk about more at a
Yes,
later
yeah,
date.
absolutely, absolutely.
But
Um, hey,
I'm excited about this Saturday matchup and the Sunday theoretical matchup of the U.S. women versus it's still France late in this overtime period, leading Belgium, but
I would
close.
love at some point to see Gobert and Wemby and Joel and AD all on the floor at one time. Um, and also that was a great thing about this game, getting to see Embiid and Joker go at it in a playoff like atmosphere. A winner go home type atmosphere. Something I know we were clamoring to see a couple years ago when Joel won the MVP. Like getting to see that was great, and it elevated both their games. I mean, Joker was unbelievable. LeBron had a triple double. The guys who were supposed to show up, or that the US and Serbia needed to show up respectively, did. And it was great basketball to watch. The refs were terrible. I don't, the refs were terrible. And like they would go from not calling a foul to then just calling any ticky tack thing. It made me so upset.
I why You mentioned I didn't get a chance to watch as much of the US game live. I watched a good chunk of Germany France, and this is something that does kind of worry me. There were multiple times late in that game where I kind of bit my lip a little bit, wondering about some of the calls, and in most cases favoring the home nation and going against Germany. And so that might be interesting to watch on Saturday a
Yeah.
little bit, because I don't know that the refs have been great, and they seem like they may be a little bit you know influenced by that home crowd.
I think so as well. It was. I wonder what that is going to be like, because there were a bunch of tiki tack calls, both ways, in U.S. Serbia, and there were even more for Germany and less for France. But I don't think the U.S. can come out like they did versus Serbia and win this game. I mean, I think they could. Honestly, they probably could, but I just wouldn't want to press my luck with that if that were me. Should be a really good game. I'm going to be bartending a bags tournament, a cornhole tournament while this is going on. So I I, I hope to just serve a couple brews to some bros and be like, go do your thing and don't talk to me. The game's on. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Um,
this the women's game is final now too. The French beat Belgium 81-75 in
hey,
overtime, and so that'll be what Sunday we'll get that final.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, also, let's get Steph a gold. He's already got so much. So let's get him a gold medal too. Go USA.
Yeah, I don't know how much you've had a chance to watch the women at all. All I know is Brianna Stewart's been balling, and Asia Wilson,
Nah,
obviously.
Asia Wilson's just playing unbelievable. It's I haven't gotten to watch as much of it, but every time I do, they're playing usually how I think like the U.S. men's team should be playing, but they've been doing that consistently since like 1992. So
Yeah, this is their 8th straight Olympic gold medal
uh,
game, which means that we were small children the last time the U.S. women failed to make a gold medal game, at least.
yeah, yeah, which is sad. I don't even want to think about that. So okay, guys, we are going to go to one of my favorite segments that we have on PODnas. It is the blender. It's back by popular demand, and by popular demand is just me wanting to do.
Are we both supposed to?
Yeah,
both
I would hope that we would.
All right. Big money, big money, big money,
big money, big money.
No
Let's
whammies.
go. No whammies, no puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles, no puzzles. Oh, Colorado fans.
So switching tabs, because I know I told you I'd read the Deion Sanders Jr. quote of. We've got a couple of little notes
So
regarding
just to
Colorado.
set up. Deion Sanders and I think it's Shiloh, or it's three Colorado players did a podcast very late in. I don't believe it was Deion Sanders Jr. I think it was Silo or whatever, the younger brother. Shiloh Sanders. I don't know his name. I consistently bad with names on Podnas.
For whatever Colorado fans stumble into this and get pissed off that he doesn't know the Sanders is.
Good. He's second. Hey, by the way, second Kershaw on this one. And we'll have a big old bleep for that. And I'm very excited to put it in.
He botches names regularly, whether they're Colorado or LSU or whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, take that for what it is. But
and this is where you come in and correct me on it, though. How do I pronounce it? What do I say?
Yeah, I don't know. You've got Shador, Deion Jr. I thought Deion Jr. was the one who had the quote, but Shiloh is involved as well, and so there's hella Sanderses.
Yeah. So let's go with that quote. What was it? So my blood can boil a little bit.
So the quote was, I think people like the college football fan base has never seen a fan base like Colorado. Don't get me wrong, LSU, all these legendary teams have insane fan bases. They have 100,000 people at their games, but it's a different type of people online riding with Colorado. Them boys be turned up online. I feel like I'm Greeny reading tweets now. Them boys be turned up online. Anybody that says something about Colorado, them boys are like full-fledged attack, like on some real funny stuff. It's pretty cool though. Like I always tell, the haters are only evident online. In person, these same people, it's all love and so on and so forth. But essentially some respect to LSU and legendary fan bases and the way they turn out, but says that he doesn't think college football has seen a fan base like Colorado's with the way that they ride online, which is all absolutely absurd.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Show up. Show up to the game. Like get offline and go to the game.
He sees the Colorado fan base by the nature of how social media platforms work.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that the fan bases of LSU, certainly here, and many others around the country are pretty loud and vehement and aggressive and all those things all over social media just as well.
Listen, I see so much Packers crapping on Bears because I live in the Midwest. All right. I could say that they're pretty turned up online too.
Yeah. And the other aspect, the other Louisiana tied Colorado headline this week is, I guess, last night or yesterday or whatnot as we record this. Former Southern Lab star and LSU offensive lineman Cardell Thomas is now transferring to Colorado from Florida A&M. And so I had immediate mixed feelings about that because I love Cardell and wish him well. Glad to see him get another Power 4 opportunity and hope that goes well. But at the same time, I know that because of all of this, someone is going to put a mic to Cardell when they get a chance to and say, hey, Cardell, you played at LSU. Now you're playing at Colorado. Can you comment on this comment from Deion Sanders Jr. a few weeks ago? And Cardell, because he is at Colorado, is going to have to say a nice thing about Colorado fan base. And yeah, they're on par with anyone. And I'm telling you now, it's going to be a situation where that's all he can say. So whatever he says,
that's
take
a
with a grain of
Maury.
salt.
That's a Maury lie detector test situation. You said that the Colorado fan base was on par with anyone. The lie detector test said that was a lie.
Yeah. I want to make sure that LSU fans know that Cardell can only say what Cardell can say at that point, and Colorado fans realize that he can only say one thing relatively without burning the new fan base.
Yeah. And listen, no disrespect to Colorado, but disrespect to Colorado. Yeah, you guys haven't done anything. They had a good August, September last year, which is great. Awesome. I'm happy for you. Like, put together the other 3 months that you need, 3.5 months to really, like, before you there's just so much smack talk coming out from them. And it's,
Yeah.
I keep seeing that same kind of thing of last year. Like, as soon as they played Oregon, they got their teeth kicked in. Like, so, and then it started a free for all. So it just, like, before you talk all this smack again, like, let's show that you can, because you didn't show that you could get up after you got knocked out last year. So that's still fresh in my mind. I would love to see that. And then if you do that, talk all the talk you want, literally. But until then, we're going to go back to the blender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run it.
Yeah. Let's go. All right. All right. All right. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. Oh yeah. Malik Neighbors. Malik is a stud Neighbors is what I put for it. So it's just filthy. He's just absolutely filthy.
When I was covering Malik as like a 14-year-old on the 7-on-7 circuit, and he was a part of a 15U national championship team that I think is the only Louisiana team to win a 7-on-7 national championship on like a major circuit. And I asked him about making plays like that as a young kid against other young kids. And he gave me one of the greatest quotes of a young teenager that I've ever had, in that there are no 50-50 balls with him. Everything's at least 75-25, if not better. That if you throw the ball up, he's going to get it. And he's been doing that from a pup to, obviously,
And
I mean,
that's even what
setting LSU career, and now on to start his NFL career.
And that's what Daniel Jones said about him during this training camp. He said that when you throw the ball up to him, like, it's his, like, no one, there's no one else that's going to get the ball. Like, it's he owns that ball as soon as it goes up in the air, which is great to hear. I mean, we obviously want to see our LSU guys in the NFL have success, but to hear stuff this good early on is great. I got one more video we're going to show you.
Just going to show part of the other aspect of his mentality, which is just an absolute dog. As much as the physical traits are there to go. Oh,
dude, go ahead.
The physical traits are there for him to go, I mean, be a standout receiver, but a lot is the mentality and just, I mean, the intensity that he brings, that no one is going to beat him. And you see him stand there and take that and retaliate. Little camp skirmish.
One thing that I love about that video is that the cornerback throws hands at the dude wearing a helmet and a pad. And I love that Malik just took it because it was like, okay, yeah, hit my hard padded helmet, my hard doubly padded helmet. I never understood if you're a
No,
football
it's
player and
one of
you're
the
watching
dumbest
this
things.
and like, tell me why you would ever do that. What is the reason? Because it looks like there's a whole midsection that's open. So if I'm going to throw a punch, I'm going to throw to something that might actually land. Probably will get me fined more. But if I'm going to get fined anyway, and I'm making that money, let's go for a sucker punch. Basically, I'm saying I play dirty. is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the hitting the helmet thing is one of the dumbest things. If you're risking hurting your hand and putting your own availability in jeopardy more than you are doing any actual damage to the person that you're swinging on.
That's some Patrick Bev stuff. Okay. That's some Pat Bev. Anytime we have something suspect, can we just call it a Pat Bev? I would love to just PODnas coin that a Pat Bev just means like a very suspect thing that you
Yeah.
do.
I'm gonna workshop that and come
Yeah.
up with some spin on Bev that is gonna work out really well.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Get that brain going. I think we got time for one more. So let's hop back in the blender.
Yeah. The coffee is killing me right now. I'm getting jittery, so I'm looking forward to what's next and rocking and rolling.
All right, let's go. Big money, big money, big money. Well, that's Malik. So, hey, let's spin this thing. Oh, we got LSU camp update. All right, I was wrong. Thought we were gonna have to redo it. So, Jarrett, I'll let you go here and give me a little update. LSU just finished their second week of camp.
Yeah, they're just over a week now into camp, and so just kind of quick hitting offense as we expected going in. I think has looked really good. A lot of depth at the wide receiver group, and I mean some of the same guys that we anticipated being leaders of that group have been great. Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton Jr. and company, but the amount of younger guys really all over the field that are making plays from that receiver group on has been impressive. To watch the tight end group with Trey'Dez Green, the freshman, and Kamarian Pimpton, the sophomore, joining up and providing some more options alongside Mason Taylor. I think the offense is going to be real good. And what we talked about going into camp was the defense just had to be good enough. You had to see improvements. And I think over the course of this week, we've started to see some spots where some guys are coming along, both the defensive line group and in that secondary, that it's been encouraging. And so it's a week into camp, a long way before we get to that season opener. And then obviously you got to get it done for 4 quarters every Saturday for months on end. But I think the early returns are really positive.
Hey, let's keep going. That was a quick one. So we're going back in the blender. Why not? We got a couple more topics. All right. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
This thing loves Malik.
It loves Malik so much. We're going to keep on spinning. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. Ooh, Lego lady.
Because you are stars now back in the States.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I think I've said this on my teammates. This is like a running joke for me is I absolutely love Legos. Like all I do when I don't do rugby is build Lego sets. So I've just been like, man, if we get a medal, I just want Lego to just like give me a shout out. So if I'm famous now, Lego, I love you. I will do anything. Any set you want me to build, I love you. Lego, please. That's all. Yeah. I'll build 100 of them if Lego wants me to. Lego, I love you.
You all need to get ready when
All right, so that is Sammy Sullivan. Sammy Sullivan. She is a U.S. Rugby player. Cute as a button.
So I love as part of that it wasn't give me the sponsorship. It's I'll build whatever you want, Lego. Yeah. You give me some Legos, and I will build it.
I'm gonna do it anyway. All right.
She explained there when she's not out there scrumming it up with the medal winning rugby team that she is real into the Lego game and talks about wanting the shout out from Lego and whatnot. And so I told you that I wanted to kind of toss it your way. And let's say you were talented.
I was going to
hypothetically.
ask the same question. What would be your thing?
It's exactly. What would be your go-to brand or item or whatever to turn to the camera when they're asking you, what's important and what is going to be meaningful about now being a star in your sport? What would be your go-to to say, you know what? I love this, and if I could get some sort of situation where I get either some of that item or I get a chance to do a commercial with them or just like a shout out, whatever, what would be your
Oh,
meaningful
I
brand
would
or item?
want to do a show on Shark Week. Like I would just be like, yo, Shark Week. All right. I'm in the Summer Olympics. Like put me on. Let's go. I'll do whatever. All right. I'll go in a cage with a shark. That's actually on a bucket list item. I want to go in a cage with a great white. I would love to do that. So like if there is any marine biologist that wants a quirky ginger dude on their next Shark Week show to just provide commentary and maybe, go in the water with a natural predator, I'm in. All right. And
So
for
if Quirky Ginger is on any marine biologist bucket list for their Shark Week
Yeah.
stuff,
then like sign me up and listen, get to me now before this gets out of hand and I get all these offers once this goes online and everyone wants this on their, mid-July TV programming for Discovery.
I immediately thought of, just from an item standpoint, was thinking about coffee because I am obsessive with coffee. I am legitimately addicted, I think. And so thought about Starbucks and whatnot. I don't know that right now, as jittery as I've gotten the back half of this video, that's a great ringing endorsement for the coffee world or Starbucks or whoever.
I was going to say, you've already mentioned how jittery you are today. So
I am off the rails right now with the caffeination and not enough food today.
How fast is your leg going under the seat that we can't see?
It's pretty bad. It's little duck flippers down there. Like you only see the calm up top. But yeah, I'm kicking the floor rapid fire.
Oh man. So we didn't get to this, but I have to do
I already
this.
know. I already know.
So
look.
Okay. First, shout out
to Mondo or Mondo Duplantis, the Lafayette native, the LSU star who goes and sets another world record in pole vault and brings some gold back to the US. Just one of the great.
No, didn't he do it for Sweden?
Oh yeah, brings a gold back.
He brings a gold back to the US, but for Sweden, which shout out Nick Brown.
Right. But just, continuing his remarkable career that goes back to him being a youngster with a pole vault pit in the backyard out in Lafayette, and just has been a star at every age level throughout his development, and is one of the great athletes to come through LSU in any sport, and also a member of a great athletic family to come through LSU with both his parents and his brothers and everything. And so that's awesome. And I know that's not the pole vaulting story that you want to talk about.
Let's give him his props. Like, that is amazing, and so proud of that dude for going and showing out on the world stage for Sweden, but also for Louisiana and for LSU. Like, congrats. But yeah, that's not the story that I want. That is not what I want to do.
How do you want to lean into this and wrap around this pole vaulting story?
Well, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh man, oh boy. This is a French pole vaulter, and this is Leslie Jones watching the replay, so we're gonna get some comedic commentary as well. But he lost. He lost for a very specific reason.
Yeah. Didn't lose by a hair, but
Yeah, he lost by a shaft.
Yo, penis. Yo, penis, sir. You lost the pole vault. But
I don't know how to contextualize this in terms of best and worst moments of life, because I think when you're that close in an Olympic competition and you're cost by something, but then at the same time on display to the entire world is, I got a medal costing package down here.
He got a $250,000 offer from a porn website to go on a 60-minute webcam, and the person who sent him this request said, as a lover of crotch-centric activities, we would love for you to come on and do a 60-minute webcam for $250,000 to show off your package without the pole vault.
And the porn industry, shout out to them in some ways, because whatever, I don't know if we've got some folks that are still watching at this point in the show who
we've gone off the rails. I think this is one of the most off the rails that we've ever been on this show.
I don't know, where everyone's moral, standards are, and if people are frustrated, but regardless of how you feel about it in general, they do a hell of a job of marketing and capitalizing on moments like this to throw offers out there and just continue to fuel attention their way. And again, you may hate that, but they are effective at it.
Yeah. I mean, they're making their place known in the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. So we're
this is the thing. When you saw this, were you aware from the beginning that it was a French athlete that this was happening to?
No. I just thought it was a very lucky man.
Did you have any initial reaction in terms of my immediate default, and I don't know what this says, if anything, was, this Italian man with a large penis, and felt like it checked out. The other day, I'm listening to Rosillo on, it was either his podcast or another podcast, and he thought it was an Italian, a well-endowed Italian man as well. And what Cerruti or somebody had to correct him. And I thought that was hysterical that our default is to just assume it was an Italian man.
Oh, yeah. You're white and well-endowed? You, Bazoo.
No, you came. Yeah.
But if you stuck around with us this long, thank you. We had so much fun this episode. We will be back, giving updates on LSU, giving updates on how this Olympics ends out, especially with our gold medal basketball games coming up. For the most off the rails we've ever been, Jared, do you want to give a plug or shout out to anyone before we get out of here?
No, man, just keep up with Louisiana versus all y'all. There's a lot of college content hitting right now early in camp. I have a lot of statewide high school previews coming. There's going to be some continued conversation that Daniel and I are going to have, looking at preseason stuff at every level, and also, trying to track down David Hellman for a little NFL preview. And so a lot going on. I will do a better job of being well hydrated and less caffeinated, because right now I've just got sweats happening at this point in the show. but make sure you keep up with us.
Yeah, and comment on the videos, share if you're enjoying this. If you have something that you thought we got completely wrong, let us know about it. We want to hear from you. Follow us on Instagram at PODnas_LA. I'm sure we're going to have to cut down this episode down because we're running up close to an hour and we don't want it to be that long. So we'll probably throw out some extras from this episode because we've been goofing around for, like I said, the better part of an hour here. So keep up with us there. We'd love to hear from you. We want to interact with you as much as possible. That's it for us. We'll see you next time. PODnas out.
And it's a ticket talking margin for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.